Man, uh, you ever notice how like shallow people's conversation is like really shallow? It's like all they do is small talk. I mean, they don't only do small talk, but they only do small talk with you because you're too unimportant to have any kind of real serious conversation with anyway. So we'll just keep it small talk so I can pick your brain and I can see if I can it's those little machines that you pull a little cord and they get revved up and then they go whoosh. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get you revved up. Basically, I mean, at least this is me putting the mind of the people, of the small talkers. I mean, there are masters of small talk. I mean, you even watch some preachers, they'll be turning into their podium speech into a complex form of small talkery. You know what I'm saying? It's like to get everyone identifies with small talk because everyone does it. Because for the most part, man, our whole society has taught us to be very shallow. I mean, when a man can be judged by his appearance, that's a very shallow perception of things. When you don't even look into the matters of the heart at all. You know what I'm saying? Once you ignore them things, but you look at appearances. I mean, that's another thing. And the way society is right now, one of the first things they ask you is, yo, how's your job been going? Uh, how's your job been? You know what I'm saying? Or I do this for a living. I'm a trash man, for instance. This is what I do for a living. So it's like right off the rip, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look, I got a job, man. You can't attack me. Uh, I pay taxes, so I'm not a domestic terrorist, basically. Or how's that weather? What about that weather? Yeah, it's one thing about when you say, man, that weather's been nice, or that weather's been horrific, or when you say, man, I think they're doing weather modification. Once you say the weather, instead you talk about the weather, and you be like, yeah, it's weather modification. Now all of a sudden you jumped out of the small talk zone. You jumped into uncomfortable territory where people be like, oh man, I seen something on the internet about that. I better not talk about that real quick. I might lose my job as a therapist or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh shoot, I can't hit like on Facebook, man. My boss will see. I'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this phenomena is, it's ever present in society. I mean, that's the whole way it's built, because there's a secret society that controls society, and their stuff is all like, let's keep all real talk behind closed doors. We can talk about real talk, we'll address it behind closed doors. So therefore, you're kind of keeping a lid on the real talk, which that immediately to me says deception, concealment, manipulation, redirection, things of that nature. But same thing. Like chicks, they'll be talking, they'll get in their little circle, they'll be like, oh man, did you see that girl in that dress? Oh man, oh, she was looking good. Nah, she looked like a slut, this and that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, someone brought it to my attention about the initiation for the woman into witchcraft. It's called bitchcraft. And bitchcraft is basically just relationships. Just what do you look like? How good do you look? Center of attention is, can you make yourself the center of attention? Can you make yourself uh what is it called? Desirable, like so desirable that you know what I'm saying, that ever you captivate everyone. That's a form of magic right there, is that you just make yourself so appealing you captivate the person looking upon you. You know what I'm saying? Which it's very adept, man. I mean, it works. It's real. I mean, as far as as the base level of man, men work a certain way, women work a certain way. When you do certain things, you get certain results. That's practical. I mean, it's magic nonetheless. But just like you're a therapist, who can do the, you're feeling very tired, go to sleep, tell me all your secrets, basically, and then you do. I mean, that's a magician. That's magic. That's magic when a person can bypass your mind, tap into that subconscious there. And I mean, there's ways you can do that through small talk. Through small talk, it's keeping a lid on people, and it's also seeing who's the programming working on, who is the programming offending. You know what I'm saying? Then we gotta develop a new method to trap these other divergent types. Divergent types. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I that's just one of the reasons I don't get along with a lot of people easily, man. Because it's like everyone does a small talkery, man, and I don't have no conversation for your small talk. It's I mean, I got little to no conversation. It's not like I'll just straight up ignore you, but I'll be very brief. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be even evasive. Like I'll walk away if you try to keep dragging me into some small talkery. It's a waste of breath. It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? There's more important things we could be in discussion about. And I mean, I guess there's a time and place for that, but there's also a time to be mature beyond it. You understand it now. You overstand it. So it's like you don't have to participate anymore in that stupid control mechanism. It's all high school. It's all high school programming. The whole groups. Get yourself in these different groups, these different castes that have been developed and programmed for you to be in. It's like you notice the manager's never around in gossip time, but he's around with the managerial class, and they're conspiring on more control. How to they're greasing the skids for the system. You know what I'm saying? They're the gatekeepers between the actual system that's paying everyone's bill and the people working for that system. You know what I'm saying? So they got to be like this adept. They got to be on the side of the machine. You know what I'm saying? But they still got to. They can't totally lose their humanity, because once people start looking at you like, man, that's not even a human anymore. You lose some of your manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Once you overstep. That's why some people got to be good at being two things. You know what I'm saying? Walking in two worlds. But this small talk, man, is just, I feel like small talk has been the biggest. It's a big hurdle, man. It's a big trap, man. It's a big snare to keep people captivated. It's magic, man. It's like drawing a magic circle around yourself and then saying, I cannot enter. Nothing can enter, nor can I leave. And boom, you bound yourself, man, to this little bubble. You know what I'm saying? This little box. And anyone who jumps outside the box, man, you're gonna show your offense. You're gonna cast your vote against them to be stoned, basically. Oh, he got my vote. Stone that dude. He's making a scene. He's making waves. He's rocking the boat. And it's like once a person starts having real talk, it makes small talk impossible, because it really does. It starts thought, starts debate, and then after a while, it starts people realize that they've been caught up in certain things, and then they're kind of you come out of being manipulated a little hostile, feeling like someone did something to you personally, but you got to remember, just the way they're trying to manipulate you, they've been manipulated and overcome at an earlier point. So really, it's that you're fighting that force that's making people turn over. You know what I'm saying? That roll over to the dark side. That's the force you want to fight. You don't want to fight the people. You don't want to fight the symptom. You can fight the symptom forever, but until you address the actual cause, and you can't really fix the problem. And I mean, here you go. I mean, it's basically, you can just say it. You can blame it on the character flaws of man, of humanity. But I mean, really, it's basically, it's the devil, man. It's the father of lies and the author of confusion. So basically, that's why people are confused and why people are so captivated by lies. Is because the father of it has taught his disciples to practice this craft as well. And it's just it's manipulative by nature. You know what I'm saying? It is the magician point to the mountain, strike the grindstone technique. And it's just it's a way to make you seem engaged, but really you're engaged in disengagement, and that seems normal to you, and that's part of the problem. That's why small talk it's mind control. It's MK Ultra. But anyway, yeah, small talk.